Now, Stacey, it's fair to say you have a beautiful home. You're a lady who likes everything done a certain way. But towards the end of the series, we saw this becoming a huge bone of contention for Tanya. So let's take a look on how it all started to unravel.
Ladies and gentlemen, Stacey Forsey.
Dog poo! The dog poo's not been cleaned up! I'm mortified. I just said very calmly, I find you manipulative and I find you controlling. And I remained a lady and I said it very calmly and very nicely.
Because she does have a very high opinion of herself because she is a lady.
Stacey Forsey residents, I'm just a bit like,
I appreciate Stacey's honesty. She is the voice of virtue and reason. I wouldn't do that to you.
Silence is better and just walk away and ignore.
I sort of get this feeling that she thinks I live in a big house. I've got, you know, I'm a strong person, so I need to let you put you in your place.
She feels like you're looking down on her when you're not.
Don't leave your manners at the door. Did your mum never tell you to speak when you swallowed your food? Oh, that's minging. Thought I'd take some bits round, see what we can do.
What's it made out of?
No cheese in it. There's no dairy, no gluten, no wheat.
No flavour, no fun.
No.
Is he poo?
All over my sofa.
It's weed. She's Mrs. Bouquet.
Just because I'm educated.
Oh, well, I'm a lady.
Just because I live in a nice house.
Forsey residents.
Just because I speak well.
I think Mrs. Bouquet is quite an endearing term.
They think that they can attack my character and my personality and mock me.
I think she'll come and lower herself to come and speak to me.
Lower my guard is what I meant to say.
No, you didn't.
Am I not got right to be cross about what you've said about me?
What, Mrs. Bouquet? You are Mrs. Bouquet. I'm a lady.
I'm a lady. I'm not a snob, but Tanya, you've just got no class.
Fuck off, Mrs.
Nasty
Brockett.
and horrible you are.
Fuck off.
When you called Stacey Mrs. Bouquet, what were you meaning by that?
Well, she is from the same background as me, but I'm proud of my roots. I've not forgot them, and I don't put on this pretense I'm a lady and all this
but
slop.
she's proud from where she comes from.
But no, she's not.
She is.
I am.
You are.
No.
You don't know me.
Told me you come from Salford, where my husband's from.
I grew up in a place called Worsley, Ellenbrook. It's not Salford.
Well, you are from Worsley anyway, so now that you've got a big house, you've got a high opinion of yourself now, but it doesn't mean that you have to have a lower opinion of other people. I don't know, I just find you a bit... Ugh.
You don't know anything about me, and if you just took the time to get to know me, you would know I'm not like that. First and foremost, where did this conversation take place?
In the back of your car, on the way back from a club.
It was 4 o'clock in the morning after a long night out with a few drinks. I actually genuinely thought I was with two of my mates on a night out.
So did I, but then I found out you can lower yourself to speak to us.
I would never say that, Tanya. I didn't explain myself properly, 100%.
How did you mean it?
I was trying to say that I actually feel really comfortable in your company. But the thing is, if you really knew me, you would never have brought that to this group of people because you would have said to me, do you know what, she's had a drink.
I did that night. I called you Mrs. Bouquet that night.
Were you surprised by Stacey's reaction to you?
Yeah, because if you're educated, which you say you are, and I've done my A-levels as well.
I never sat there and went, I'm educated. You're making me out to be
did she? Yes, she did.
But I've known you for a long time, and I've obviously.
But you don't know me neither.
Well, no one knows you because you don't know who you are yourself.
But doesn't mean that you know me. I thought I knew you until recently, but obviously I don't.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you have changed. Since I've known you, you have changed, and it's upset me.
I think you behave appallingly.
Really?
Yeah,
well, that's because you're a lady and you think everyone's appalling.
Clearly, you've looked down on me from the minute
I've
I've known you.
look down on you.
You've told everybody.
Integrity is everything
when
to
you
me.
started this show,
I do not look down upon it.
Can I speak now? This is something you've offended us
yeah,
by something that came out of your mouth.
In your company.
So, all right.
For some reason.
So why can't you just go Johnson and go, I'm sorry for saying that, because it might have not even offended.
Sorry.
Why do I behave appallingly? I want to get to the bottom of this. Why do I behave appallingly? You come up with that statement.
Because I think you're very insular and all about yourself. Whenever I've been in your company, you're just on the phone. Never speak to me, never know anything about my life.
You sat there and said that I've never asked anything about you, your life, and I don't know anything about you.
What I'm trying to say is it's a misunderstanding. I think that's very clear. I'm owning it. It sounded bad, but
can you not understand
I didn't explain
from what you said how I heard it?
I am, but I'm telling you, I'm not like that, and it's misunderstanding.
But she's saying, can you understand why she's upset by?
No, what I understand is I don't believe you actually like me. I think that night I said that and you were like, yeah, I got her on something. You are very well liked. You have a massive following on social media. You know how this works. And what you've done is, you've brought this to this group of women, and I believe you brought it on purpose for me to be hated on. I do.
Oh my God.
You know how it works.
You need help.
Seema, do you think this is one big, huge misunderstanding?
Massive. What you said, and I even said it to you, was the wrong choice of words. To say to someone you lower yourself, I said to you, wasn't the right thing, and you said no, I meant to say lower my guard.
Can the both of you apologise to each other and move on?
It's a whole big, massive misunderstanding.
We know it's a misunderstanding. Come on.
Can you actually apologise?
Well, I want an apology for her
Of course,
behaviour.
well, let's start with you, and I'm sure Tanya will be gracious enough to accept.
OK, I'm sorry for saying I lowered myself.
And I am not sorry about calling you Mrs. Bouquet, but I am sorry about calling you Mrs. Bucket and swearing and just being a bit... Angry.
OK, let's all clap, yay. Now, Leanne, during that break, you got upset and you're still quite emotional. Is this about what Stacey had said about you?
Yeah, I just find it really hurtful because obviously I've always felt like I was obviously a lot closer to Stacey than what she's seen me, and for her to sit there and say I don't know anything about her or her life, it's just hurtful. Like, I behave appallingly. Like, what? Where the hell has that come from?
Stacey?
Nothing to say.
You upset your friend like this?
We're not going to resolve this, so I think we should push on with the
Honestly,
rest
it's
of the show.
hilarious.